Meeting for October 4, 2022. I call this meeting to order and ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Trustee Daney?
Here.
Yanzi?
Here.
Gunstein?
Here.
Hopkins? Here. Laporte?
Here.
Swansky?
Here.
President Wallace?
Here. We have requested Reverend Andrew Weiss of Faith World Outreach do our invocation this evening. Thank you for being here, Reverend.
Heavenly Father, we come before you tonight very grateful for this community, Lord, and for all you've done for us. We ask your continued blessings and safety on this community and on those who serve. We ask for your wisdom, health, life, and strength for all those here and for everyone in our communities. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This brings us to our consent agenda this evening. All items listed with an asterisk will be enacted in one motion. There will be no separate discussion on items on the consent agenda. Okay. Is there anything any board member would like to add or remove from consent?
I would like to remove item A1 from the consent agenda.
Okay. Anything else? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the to amend the consent agenda to include the following. Board and committee minutes, September 20, 2022. The consent will also include bills list from October 4, 2022. The consent this evening, we will be removing item A1, leaving item A2. Consent this evening will include item C1 and item F1 and 2.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Trustee Daney, seconded by Trustee Hopkins. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Swansky?
Yes.
Daney?
Yes.
Gansey?
Yes.
Gunstein?
Yes.
Hopkins?
Yes.
Laporte?
Yes.
That motion carries. I'll entertain a motion to approve the amended consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Trustee Daney, seconded by Trustee Hopkins. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Daney?
Yes.
Gansey?
Yes.
Gunstein?
Yes.
Hopkins?
Yes.
Laporte?
Yes.
Swansky?
Yes.
That motion carries. No treasurer's report this evening brings us to our president's report, and I have a feeling that many in the audience are here for this first event, which is the Passport to Adventure Awards through our museum. I believe Pam's going to take this over.
I am. Thank you very much, Mayor. And welcome everybody tonight. We've been on a 2-year hiatus due to COVID, so it's wonderful to be back tonight recognizing our families. I always say this is my favorite night of the year, honoring our Bartlett residents who have had the most wonderful summer. Wait till you meet them and hear all about it. So, in 1991, the Kane-DuPage Regional Museum Association, KDARMA, began offering a summertime program for children called Passport to Adventure. The member institutions created a passport booklet listing all the participating sites and general information about each. Children and their families traveled to the sites and stamped their books along the way. Several things about the program have changed through the decades for the better, reflecting today's museum visitors. First, the program is now open to all ages because adults love visiting sites and collecting stamps too. And we've really seen that change in those people picking up our books, from adults to retirees, grandparents. They all enjoy getting the book. The program is also offered year-round too, for museums and nature centers are not just for summer visits. And KDARMA also offers an incentive program with a chance for site-goers to win prizes. The Village of Bartlett Museums joined KDARMA in 1997, when I started, a year after I started. And since has been a proud participant, not only in the program, but the other offers of association membership. I have served on the KDARMA board for the last 10 years as vice president, president, and now past president. Ensuring that the Passport program continues has always been a priority because educational value and family bonding and just plain fun is so important. It's also an economical option because the sites are close to home. They're in Kane and DuPage counties. And with many sites offering free admission or very low entrance fees. The Village of Bartlett has always had a high family participation rate. We are one of the top communities within the program, with 4 sites being offered within. They are the Bartlett History Museum, the Bartlett Depot Museum, Arts in Bartlett, and the Bartlett Nature Center. This program also brings visitors into our community who afterwards want to know, what else is there to do in town? Where can we go have lunch? And what other businesses can we see before heading home? The Village of Bartlett Museums has always recognized our top site-going Bartlett families. And in case of a tie, there are several families at a village board meeting like tonight with the Mayor's Medallion. And this year is no exception. Once again, we have multiple families that have visited every Passport site between this May and August, and that's 60 sites. Isn't that amazing? Tonight, we celebrate the accomplishments of 2 Bartlett families who went on that journey, from institutions from Addison to Wooddale, engaging them in history, art, science, nature, transportation, and culture. But before we meet our families, I'd like you to hear from them in their own words why they have enjoyed the program. What was your favorite site to visit?
I like Blackberry Farm and the playground and the zip line and Senate.
Did you have fun visiting 60 museums and nature centers?
Yeah,
Would you do it again?
probably.
We enjoyed the program. It was something very new, something that we hadn't tried before, and we got to discover a lot of new things around the entire community, and not only just in Bartlett, but around the Chicagoland area.
Well, it was like really fun and that we did all 60 and like we didn't really have to plan the summer out and it was like really fun. And we had doing the Passport program. It was really fun going to all the places and we was getting really excited once we almost finished. And now that we finished, we were really excited to get the Mayor's Medallion.
It was an amazing experience. It took out all of the thinking of what are we going to do, over the summer because we had these beautiful passports that were put together, and so all we had to do was just plan out our day, and we went out and we got a chance to experience so many things together as a family, and it was just a wonderful time.
Even with gas prices being the way they are, we were blessed to be able to fill the tank up so they could go out and go visit a lot of different places. So it was good for the family.
Aren't they just a couple of hams up there? I tell you, what a fun families. Okay, so first I'd like to introduce the Baker family, and I'd like to have them come up. Dad Dustin, Mom Denise, and daughter Ashlyn. Come up here. Mayor, if you can come down, please. You want to stand right over here. Perfect. Last year, the Bakers moved to Bartlett after living in Hanover Park for several years. They wanted the opportunity to learn more about their new hometown and surrounding communities. This was the first year they participated in the program, and they knocked it out of the park, didn't they? Ashlyn is 8 years old and attends Bartlett Elementary School, where she's in 3rd grade. She's active in Girl Scouting, and her favorite site was Aurora's Blackberry Farm, where you can ride a miniature train, a carousel, experience an 1840s pioneer cabin, blacksmith shop, one-room schoolhouse, and more. Congratulations, Ashlyn. We are so proud of you. Welcome to Bartlett. We hope you're enjoying your new home and your new hometown, and Ashlyn, your new school. Next, I'd like you to meet the Mcelroy family, Dad Daryl, Mom Kelly, Brooklyn, and Phoenix. And you have to notice Dad's shirt. He wore this today. They came to claim their number of sites, but then I said, you have to wear it tonight. Do you notice a theme on the back of Dad's shirt? 60 sites, 60 on the back of his Cubs shirt. Go Cubs. The Mcelroys have been attending, the Bartlett Museum events for years, and I've watched and had the pleasure of seeing these girls grow up. Look at how tall they're getting. Pretty soon, I think they're both going to be taller than Mom and Dad here. And Kelly is a champion of our museum, spreading the word not only about Passport, but other programs as well. People will come into the museums and go, well, you know, Kelly sent me. I feel like there should be a little door that slides open. Kelly sent me. Okay, and so for that, we thank her very much. The Mcelroys have participated in the Passport program before, but this year they made it their goal that they were going to visit all the sites, and they kept me updated on their progress. I got pictures along the way. We're here, we're here, we're here, and with the number count going. So Brooklyn recently turned 11 years old. The last time I saw you, you were 10, and now you're 11. And she attends Horizon Elementary School, where she is in the Ignite, which is the gifted program, and she's in 5th grade. Her favorite site was Neighbor Settlement, where she saw and could visit many historic structures. Phoenix is 8.5 years old and attends Bartlett Elementary School, where she's in the 3rd grade. Her favorite site was the Morton Arboretum, where she got to see many beautiful trees and plants and experience nature. Both Brooklyn and Phoenix are also involved in Girl Scouts. In fact, the girls are all in the same troop and know each other. Congratulations, Brooklyn and Phoenix. We are so proud of you. And let's give a shout out to their parents, all the parents, Dustin, Denise, Daryl, and Kelly, who dedicated their summer to planning and driving their daughters to all these wonderful sites.
The village didn't have any tape.
It's always exciting to see young kids getting interested in our history. I love that. Next item we have on the President's report is the Pump Up the Art Hydrant painting winners. And all the board members mentioned, I think we had some cake with the Passport winners, and we were talking about this Pump Up the Art. What a great event this year. Yeah. That was impressive. It's really cool to see the different hydrants around the area. And boy, did some people really knock it out of the park, too. I think the police guy might be right by me. But in this first year of the village's Pump Up the Art Hydrant Painting Program, staff approved 135 applications with a mixture of residents, homeowner associations, businesses, and other civil groups getting together to beautify every corner of our community. The top 3 hydrants voted on by residents on the village website are as followed. I'm going to go from 3 up to 1. These are all the same, right? Third place. And if you guys can step up if you're here, and I will hand you your award. The Bartlett Police by Abby Waika. Did I get that right? Woo! No way, I'm not standing up there. Second place, Clowning Around by Patty Ummel. favorite clowns in the whole town.
The resident
Her son is also really good at balloons and stuff. Yay! Jazzy. First place, Betty B. in Bartlett by Soleil Sacamino. Did I do that right? Sila Sacamino. Come on. Thank you. Thank you for participating. Congratulations to all our winners, and thank you to all the individuals who participated in the first year of the program. I'm excited to see it happen next year. Are we going to start over with hydrants, or are we going to just do more? What's the plan? Probably ask the fire department about that, right?
Yeah, no, we still have plenty left.
Yeah. All right.
Gives us on red paint.
Very good. I love that program. That was really neat. Next item I have a proclamation for the Arts DuPage Month, or Arts DuPage Month proclamation. Arts DuPage, DuPage Foundation Initiative. Whereas Arts DuPage has regularly issued official proclamations to all the cities and villages in DuPage County on an annual basis designated October as Arts DuPage Month. And whereas the arts embody much of the accumulated wisdom, intellect, and imagination of humankind. And whereas the arts enrich us as individuals and play a unique role in the lives of our families and our communities. And whereas the arts promote a better understanding of the diversified cultures within our communities and unify us regardless of age, race, and ethnicity. And whereas the arts sector in DuPage County consists of 2,272 arts-related businesses and accounts for 4.2% of the total number of businesses in the region, a larger share of the economy than transportation, tourism, agriculture, and construction. And whereas the arts provide full-time employment for over 15,000 workers in DuPage County, and whereas the arts improve our economy, enrich our civic life, drive tourism and commerce, and exert a profound positive influence on the education of our children. And whereas the arts helped lead us through the darkest times of the pandemic by lifting our spirits, unifying our communities, and providing entertainment. Now the arts are playing a vital role in rebuilding our communities, jump-starting the economy, and leading us back to normalcy. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Kevin Wallace, President of the Village of Bartlett, Cook, DuPage, and Kane Counties, do hereby proclaim October 2022 as Arts DuPage Month in the Village of Bartlett, and call upon our community members to celebrate and promote the arts in DuPage County, dated this 4th day of October 2022. We also have a proclamation for World Polio Day, and as a Rotarian, we were a little bit concerned about hearing about another case of polio or multiple cases, so thought it apropos to have a proclamation for World Polio Day 2022. Whereas the Rotary Club of Bartlett is a member of Rotary International, the world's first and still one of its largest nonprofit service organizations, founded in Chicago, Illinois in 1905. And whereas the Rotary motto, service above self, inspires members to provide humanitarian service, encourage high ethical standards, and promote goodwill and peace in the world. And whereas Rotary, a global service organization with over 1.4 million members, has been the center of the worldwide effort to eradicate polio for over 3 decades. Every year, through a funding partnership with Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Rotary has contributed more than $2.6 billion and countless volunteer hours to end polio forever. Whereas the recent detection of the vaccine-derived poliovirus type 2 case in New York and isolates in several environmental samples collected in London are stark reminders that as long as polio exists anywhere, it is a threat everywhere. And whereas members of the Rotary Club of Bartlett continue to contribute their time and their resources to support Polio Plus and the Global Polio Eradication Initiative. And whereas their efforts are providing much needed operational support, medical personnel, laboratory equipment, and educational materials for health workers and parents. Now therefore, I, Kevin Wallace, President of the Village of Bartlett, do hereby proclaim October 4, 2022 as World Polio Day in Bartlett, and do hereby encourage all residents to join the Rotarians of our local club to fight for a polio-free world, dated this 4th day of October 2022. Thank you. Anybody on board have any questions for staff?
I just have a couple of comments I'd like to make, if I may. We have an anniversary that I'd like to recognize. Matt Gurmick, he's our ground superintendent at Bartlett Hills. He has 5 years of service. I said that wrong. He has 4 years of service. And he doesn't normally attend our meetings, but I'm going to mention him anyway. We have a birthday coming up. My granddaughter's husband, Tyler Reese, works for Public Works, and they just had a baby, and my wife and I are now great-grandparents. And Tyler is celebrating his birthday on October 30th, so congratulations to my family. It's really means a lot to us. Also, I'd like to recognize Arts in Bartlett. We attended an event over at Villa Olivia this past Sunday, and it was called the Celebration of the Arts, Magical Strings for Youth. And ladies and gentlemen, I have to tell you, I've never been so impressed. They had about 24 children there that were playing. There were a couple teenagers, but the lion's share that were playing, they all played the violin. And I sat there, and they played for well over an hour, and I was just so impressed. It was unbelievable. Afterwards, I had the opportunity of talking to a few of the kids, and the one little girl I talked to, I asked her, "How old are you?" And she said, "I'm 6 years old." And I said, "Well, when did you start playing the piano?" She said, "When I was 4. I have to tell you, that little girl has more talent than anyone in my family. You could take my entire family, and nobody would have that kind of talent in 2 years to be able to play the violin like that. So a shout out to Arts in Bartlett. And I would encourage anyone, if they see any literature or publicity of something like this occurring again, to attend. It was very well attended, but it was it was absolutely worth it. Thank you, sir. That's all I have.
I have something. Yep. Speaking of well-attended, I just wanted to thank all the volunteers, the Bartlett Rotary, the Chamber, and the Bartlett Lions Club for their hard work this past weekend. You guys put on an amazing first annual Oktoberfest, and I was impressed by the turnout as well as how well it was run, and I think it's a great addition to our community. So thank you, guys.
Yes, absolutely. That was fantastic. Anyone else? Hearing none, we will move on to the town hall portion of the meeting this evening. If anybody would like to address the board, kindly step up to the microphone and state your name and address for the record. It looks like Eli doesn't have anything to say, so. It is Eli, right?
Yeah.
My name is Jay Langfelder, 415 South Hickory, Bartlett, Illinois. Good evening, Village Board of Trustees and Village President Wallace. I wish to congratulate the village on a successful Oktoberfest. The weather was perfect, and the event was very well attended. The law enforcement and various charitable organizations who assisted in the food tents, beverage areas, and cleanup was very, should be congratulated with a successful event. So thank you. I am here to speak out against the amended Municipal Code Title 10, Zoning Ordinance, Cannabis Dispensing Centers. The major concerns are traffic congestions, the location of Eastview Middle School and Bartlett Elementary School, and the community safety. During the discussion of the board meeting on September 20th, the issue was raised once the recreational and medical cannabis centers are allowed in downtown area. Brian Mraz, according to the minutes, stated, if you make a special use, you don't have an unfettered ability to turn an application down. The way you keep it out is to have it prohibited in certain districts. If you make a special use everywhere, you don't have a limit, and your legal ability to turn it down may lead to a major lawsuit for the village. Special use will allow a dispensary in every commercial district. If the board goes with option 2, according to the straw poll taken by the board on September 20th, Trustee Adam Hopkins asked if option 2 was okay with everyone. Trustee Gansey and Trustee Gunstein agreed. Once you allow removal of Title 10 and the amend the municipal code to allow special use in the downtown area is allowing a Pandora's box with no limitations. As Paula Schumacher agreed with Trustee Renee Swansky, you cannot claw it back. According to the minutes of the meeting, I ask everyone on the board, what will your legacy be as you spend time as a trustee of the Village of Bartlett? As my opening statement, I congratulated the Village of Bartlett for a successful event. We walked to 1 Taco Dos tequilas, and every table was jammed and taken. Tonight, and we proceeded to JC Restoration Mexican Restaurant, where they served us. The point here is, with the construction of Brew & More and Delicious, they will be opening up in the distant future. My point is, the stance the board has taken by standing by the local restaurants in Bartlett during the governor's executive orders should be commendable. The restaurants can be lured to Bartlett with the support of the community and village board. I see the downtown area as a restaurant district versus a dispensary district. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Langfelder.
Hi, my name is Jamie Hanrahan. I live on 334 Donna Court, and I am not a public speaker, so please forgive my shakiness. But I wanted to talk to you. First of all, I wanted to say thank you for your service to Bartlett, to everyone here and the police officers. My husband and I, we've been here for over 20 years. We've raised 4 kids. Now we have 2 grandkids that when they come to visit, we bring them down to the parks. And Bartlett is a wonderful area. We've really been blessed by being able to raise our kids here. Bartlett offered sports through the park district, softball and soccer, and the pool, Bartlett pool for our summertime, the log cabin for birthday parties and graduation parties. Our church home is here in Bartlett. We've made many memories and many lifelong friends. I am concerned about the possible zoning changes for the cannabis store, the marijuana store. I'm afraid that these changes would change Bartlett. I'm also concerned about the incoming traffic. Route 59 and Bartlett Road, we know, is a very terrible intersection for accidents, and I just feel like the increased traffic and the very high possibility that people would be driving under the influence would just increase these accidents. I'm concerned for those in Bartlett, the families, those that already struggle with addictions and things like that, that having a cannabis store, a marijuana store just so close to home, so close to our homes would only give them easier access. Okay, I'm nervous for our kids that not only do they walk back and forth to school, Bartlett Elementary, Eastview, they also walk to their sports practices. They walk to the beautiful brand new park that we have on Oak, where I take my grandkids should they come in. I'm nervous for my girls that are older who love to hang out in downtown Bartlett after church on a Saturday afternoon. They grab a slice of pizza, a cup of coffee, whatever it is they do. I'm really nervous about the changes that could happen to Bartlett. We raise our kids to say no, right? We raise our kids to just say no, don't do drugs, make good choices. And even on our schools, on the outside, it's posted, you know, drug offenders will be prosecuted. You know, this is a drug-free zone. But yet we're contemplating opening up a marijuana store right here in our downtown, right here in Bartlett, in our area, and it just seems counterproductive. So I would really, really ask for all of you that are involved in making these decisions for us that live in Bartlett, to please be careful. Please consider this decision that very well could, probably will, make changes in Bartlett. It affects our future, and it affects everyone who lives here. Thank you.
Thank you, Jamie.
Hi, I'm Susan Miller, I live in Foster and Bartlett. Trustees have likely received letters from many members of my family and myself. My children are highly motivated about this. I've lived here 23 years, raised my kids here, schooled them here. It's our home. The last couple years, we've all noticed that we're living in a simulation of sorts. It's a social experiment. We've been tested as a community. We've been gaslighted, if you will, to the point of accepting things that were once taboo. There's some gray hairs in here, you know what I'm talking about. Even forbidden by law. And we've been moved into those things becoming acceptable, to invited, even celebrated. A community cannabis dispensary is one of those things, ladies and gentlemen. Bartlett can choose to be a place, instead of seeking to display what is beautiful and honest and true, or they can make a bad decision. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Susan. Would anyone else like to address the board today that's present here? Who we got up there? We got John or we got Chris?
Chris.
Hey, Chris, is there anyone online that would like to address the board?
No, Mayor, there is not.
All right. Thank you for your comments. Hearing that, we'll move on to standing committee reports. First standing committee report is Building and Zoning Committee Chairman Hopkins.
Thank you, President Wallace. There's 2 items on our agenda. Item A2 was covered under the consent. Item A1 is proposing the establishment of a special service area for the townhomes at Grassland Subdivision. Attached is an ordinance proposing the establishment of a special service area for the 27-lot, 116-unit townhomes at Grassland Subdivision, Phase 2. The establishment of a special service area is necessary to provide a backup source of funding for stormwater detention system in the development if the homeowners association is unable to perform the required maintenance. The DuPage County Stormwater Ordinance requires this backup funding mechanism. With that, I know there were some changes to this. Does staff want to go over those changes?
The contract purchaser, D.R. Horton, is not sure if they're going to be selling these and creating a homeowners association, or if they're going to be marketing the development as a build-to-rent. And if that is the way that it develops, the ordinance had to be amended so that we could make sure that if they retain ownership and then they hire a management company to maintain the properties, that the detention areas would still be serviced properly.
Thank you. Is there any questions? I'll move to approve ordinance 2022-87, an ordinance proposing the establishment of a special service area, number 2, for the townhouses at the Grassland Subdivision of the Village of Bartlett, DuPage, Cook, and Kane Counties, Illinois, and the issuance of bonds to an amount not to exceed $1,332,056 for the purpose of paying the costs of providing a special service and for such area.
Second.
Moved by Trustee Hopkins, seconded by Trustee Daney. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Gansey?
Yes.
Gunstein?
Yes.
Hopkins?
Yes.
Laporte?
Yes.
Sawanski?
Yes.
Daney?
Yes.
That motion carries.
That's all we have under building and zoning tonight.
Thank you, Chairman Hopkins. Community Economic Development, Chairman Gansey.
Thank you, Mr. President. There is nothing to report tonight.
Thank you, Chairman Gansey. Finance and Golf Committee, Chairman Daney.
Thank you, Mr. President. The only item we had on the agenda was covered under consent. We have nothing else.
Thank you, Chairman Daney. License and Ordinance Committee, Chairman Gunstein.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have nothing to report.
Thank you, Chairman Gunstein. Police and Health Committee, Chairman Swansky.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have nothing this evening.
Thank you, Chairman Swansky. Public Works Committee, Chairman Laporte.
Thank you, Mr. President. They were covered and approved under the consent agenda.
Thank you, Chairman Laporte. Any new business anyone would like to address? Any other questions for staff? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by trustee Daney, seconded by trustee Gunstein. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Daney?
Yes.
Gansey?
Yes.
Gunstein?
Yes.
Hopkins?
Yes.
Laporte?
Yes.
Sawansky?
Yes.
We are adjourned. Once again.